So you out here getting carved up by goddamn Edward Scissorhands, like was
You feel me? Like I'm a motherfucking pumpkin.
like
Like I'm a
hey,
motherfucking pumpkin.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start calling you that now. Yo, Ayo Pumpkin, what's happening?
Oh god.
uh,
You might as well just call me New York. Fuck.
call you New York.
Just call me New York.
That
Just call me
accent,
New
you
York.
said some shit 5 seconds ago. I was like, God damn, that accent thick. Like, yo, do niggas
Nah,
ever say
but
shit about the
yeah.
accent? Like, do niggas go after you? Oh, I love the accent. She cute. She got the accent. Have you ever heard some? Do niggas do that there?
Yes, plenty of times. Yeah, I've gone around. I don't want to say around the world. Like I've been traveling all across the country, but
Right.
I've been a couple of different states. You hear me? States. I've been to a couple of different states, and people have shouted me out like, "Yo, where you from?" And I'm like, "New York," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I thought so. I love your voice." And blah blah. And I'm like, well, "Thank you." I feel like a celebrity, so yeah, I've definitely heard that plenty of times.
Wait, what part of New York? You said Bronx, Brooklyn?
I originated in Queens, but as I got older, I lived literally in every part except for trash ass Staten Island.
Okay, you fuck with Westchester? I got a couple homies out right around there.
See, I don't really know about Westchester. See, the thing about me moving place to place, I didn't really pay attention to the abs and the block that I was on or this, that, and the third. Like, I wasn't really
Man,
good with that. I was just, you feel me? I was just out there. Like, hell, I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Richmond. Like, I know my area where I originated from. It was
right.
Glendale and Ridgewood. So I knew that very well. But, you know, other places that I would go to in the Bronx, like, I know Castle Hill, I lived there, or you know, in Brooklyn, I lived in Bushwick, you know, so shit like that. I know Manhattan, I live 14th Street or 42nd Street, so I know that. I know where I lived, but as to like you know where I would hang out and shit like that, I probably did hang out in Westchester. I just didn't know it.
Yo, y'all be knowing the motherfucking streets. I could like when I was out there, like I said, I took my mom out there for New Year's. I mean for her birthday last year, and I'm just like, nigga told me to take 14th, go down this Ave. I'm like, motherfucker, do I take two lefts and a right or no? Like I don't do these. I'm
It's a
not
lot of
from here.
avenues.
Yeah, like the fuck is y'all talking about? Go down this boulevard. I don't know nothing about New York. I'm just out here chilling. like so okay, so hold on. What part of New York is the most lit? So you say say I come out there, I want to go to a bar. I mean, obviously not with this shit going on, but say what's the most lit part? What's the most lit spots to hit up? I'll plug it up. Where should I go?
I would definitely say, well, I mean, Queens is big. You know, you could be in like the College Point area, or you could be where I originated from, which is Ridgewood, and you'll still be in Queens, but you're literally like an hour and some change away from that other destination. So I would say like the College Point area of Queens is pretty lit. In Manhattan, you know, like 14th Street is popular, 42nd Street is popular, but I don't really know of any clubs out there. I used to go to some bars, which was kind of nice.
I'm not a club type nigga.
Brooklyn, I mean, Brooklyn, they have like rooftop parties, they have like certain little lounges and shit like that. So I would say,
Okay.
if you want to turn up, Brooklyn is where to do it. Yeah, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, which one got the coldest ladies though?
You said what?
Which spot got the coldest ladies though? Like
See,
you try
I
to fuck
couldn't
with a
really
shorty.
tell you because when I was out there, it was more so like house parties, or I was too young to even be at the spot in the first place. So I didn't give a fuck about the name of the spot or where I was at. It was just as long as I knew I could get in. It would be like people would be like, "Yo, you want to go to this club?" I'd be like, "Yo, you think you can get me in? I don't have a fake ID." They'd be like, "Hell yeah, we can get you in. You look very good." I'm like, "I bet." You feel me? So I hop in the ride and we get there and I sneak in and then that's it. You know, that's all I know. So I couldn't really tell you. I would love to share if I knew, but I really don't know.
It's so funny because you're so fucking young. It's just like you talking to you. I'm like, oh yeah, she about 25, 26. She, might be like a little bit older than me type shit. Nah, you so fucking young. Like,
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I told you I experienced some shit.
I feel it. Hey, like I said, we know I've been through some shit. Like, but you appreciate life a little bit more, see things a little bit different. I mean, like I said, me being 25, I know I didn't have been through more shit than some dudes, 40. You know what I mean? Like, But at the end of the day, I'm glad I have. I don't want to be, I don't know if I'm gonna have kids. I might, if I'm blessed with that opportunity, and that's what's up. But say I have a son, I want to be able to talk to my son about and have these kind of conversations with him, so he can learn and how to navigate the shit. I think that's part of the shit now is people don't talk to their kids. Like I had to learn a lot of shit growing up.
Keep it real fast.
Yeah, like when I was 15, 16, that's when I started really seeing shit and being exposed to things and like, I'm not going for that type shit. And you talking to me, you can tell how I am. Like, I'm a very vulgar, upfront person. Like, that's the whole the whole purpose of the uncut shit. It's just like just keeping that raw, explicit perspective. Like, but a lot of motherfuckers haven't gotten that opportunity. And I know niggas that's 25, 26 that haven't been exposed to a whole bunch. Like, that's, they learn this shit by word of mouth. They learn it through other people's experiences. Me, I got to learn a little bit earlier. You got to learn a little bit earlier. And I'm grateful for it. But it's like, yo, hey, Pops, I could have been a little bit better off mentally had you, like, put me on a little bit more game, my nigga. Like,
yeah, I feel you, man. Big time, yeah. I mean, my whole thing with that, I definitely agree with you. Like, parents need to be more real with their kids. Right. You wanting to put your kids on and shit like that and tell them shit, keeping it real, I definitely agree with that that whole thing. But there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons to everything. So right. I mean, I do know a mother that told me herself that her daughter was told about this is dick and this is pussy at a very young age. She broke everything down, and this is the condom, and if he puts his mouth on it, make sure that you have this and that and the third. Okay, now this is the mother's perspective to me. My daughter's so great, and she learns, and she's smart, and she's wise. I'll give it to her. Her daughter is smart. Her daughter got her A's and did what she has to do in school. Yes, but on the other side, the side that I know of her daughter that she doesn't is that her daughter is out here in the streets, wilding the fuck out.
That's how a lot of times it be going.
You just gotta, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's gonna take shit in their own little way. I guess just maybe be careful with how you say shit or how you make shit seem. Be realistic. Yes, I definitely agree with that. My mom wasn't realistic with me, and I just was more curious, and I wanted to find out myself, and boy did I. But I would say just choose your words carefully. Be wise about how you say what you say, and then you also don't want to look hypocritical to your kid, because that's the worst thing. See, when my mom used to tell me, right, don't date this kind of person, or you gotta marry a man of God, I would look at her like, are you serious? My dad is a jailbird. So it's like you just really gotta be careful. And then especially with kids nowadays, if you ain't telling them, they gonna find out themselves. Because school, you don't know what these other parents is letting these kids do, or what these parents are doing in front of their kids. And then YouTube, everything is coming out with all this social media and all this internet. Like, there's a lot of shit that I be hearing certain kids say, and I'm like, are you fucking sick? Like, or the way I see some of these kids dress, I'm like, bro, yeah. I was 11, 12 years old, still wearing, T-shirts that had fucking words on it, like, cool girl. Like, come on now.
She was walking around with a barrette and shit.
Growing up a little too fast.
But that's the thing, our generation grew up, like, I do believe our generation grew up mad fast. Like, motherfuckers in my school was, 14, 15, they got a kid or about to have a kid. You know what I mean? Like, but it's always going to be people throughout each generation, there's always going to be people that start maybe a little bit early. But I feel like as a group, my generation, man, we had motherfuckers coming to high school burnt out, smelling like flat out sour diesel, like flat out just clapped, like just smacked. So, I mean, I think what ends up happening is, like you said, you don't know what other people have been teaching their kids. And when you get around other kids at school, how you are around your parents ain't gonna be how you are at school. That's just the way it is. Like, right. My family think of me as because there's a version of me that my family know versus the version y'all hear. The version y'all get is my more loose, fun, energetic out there. So, and I'm fun and energetic with my family, but when I'm with my family, I'm not an entertainer. I'm not on stage bringing people out on, in radio. It's an entirely different person. You know what I mean? There's the family man, and then there's the nigga that y'all hear right now. So, I think it's people don't have these conversations, and it leads to a situation like myself where my mom know I've been out here. Like I don't talk to her about that shit, but she didn't for sure. She know. She know for a fact. But it is what it is. I just think people got to be more open and more honest, and the parents got to be more receptive. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and she made a great point. There's this misconception. Now, it's my guy, Rashawn. He made a good point. It's not enough people who understand the concept of being friends with your kids. It's always been this misconception. It's always been a disconnect. It's almost like it's a negative connotation to the word friends. He made a good point. He was like, yo, if you look up the definition of a friend, my mom is my friend. Therefore, you should be able to talk to me and I should be able to talk to you. Why would you prefer that I go to school and learn about sex and this and that from a friend, somebody who don't know no better neither? Why would you prefer I learn from somebody else my age, ain't up to no good, as opposed to learning from you when you got a whole family? You know what I mean? And it's like the mentality got to change. And I think our generation, we so open-minded. We at a point where it's like the shit like, well, Columbus Day. Everybody was celebrating Columbus Day and looking at Columbus as a fucking hero. And then our generation came up and it's like, that motherfucker ain't no hero. Like, look at what, you know what I'm saying? Look at what the country became as a result. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get into political shit, but I'm just saying, like, as an example, talking to your kid, being receptive, being truthful. It comes back to being fucking truthful. Sometimes you're going to be more vocal. If you're like me, you might be a little bit brutally honest. I think there's a level of respect that should come with it when talking to your parents and, you know, vice versa. But, yo, step up. If you're a parent, step the fuck up.
That's a fact. I definitely agree with you on that. Y'all need to step the hell up and stop doing drugs in front of your kids. It's not cool or cute.
Facts. But nah,
you
man.
Gonna learn today.
Go learn. Keep that lesson to yourself, motherfucker.
Period.
So, do you ever get to a point where it's like, you know, I'm young, but I ever want to start a family? What's your mindset like now?
You said what? I didn't hear that last part.
I said, what's your mindset now? Do you ever get to a point some days where it's like, yeah, I'm ready to start my family type shit, or you just, because you know we talked about it. You said you talking about your legacy and shit. So what's that like for you right now mentally?
I'm kind of turned off from having a family at this point, only because the person that I recently stopped dating, he said some fucked up shit to me and was like, he said one day, if you don't give me a kid within a year, I'm going to leave you.
What?
So, yeah, that fucked me up because I actually miscarried. And he continued to try to get me pregnant, and it just wasn't working. It was my first miscarriage. I didn't know I was pregnant, so it didn't really affect me. It sucked. I was disappointed because I thought our kid would have been beautiful. But yeah, it didn't work out. God does what he does for a reason. But yeah, he ended up showing his true colors, and he was like, yeah, if you don't give me a kid within a year, I'm gonna leave you. So after that, you know, me feeling like my body isn't going to work with me in that way, where I'm going to be able to have a kid because there's been so much trial and error, I stopped wanting kids. You know, I feel like at some point in time when I got my life all the way together, I would like to adopt or foster children and then adopt, whether I have to do it by myself or whether I have a man with me. That's what I look forward to. But am I ready now? Absolutely not.
It's so interesting that you say, you know, you don't want, and I get that perspective. I think at some point, like even with my situation where, you know, I mentioned me getting ready to, you know, being to start my family at a very young age, like 19 years old. You know, I lost, you know, twins myself. Not by choice. My girlfriend at that point, that's kind of why I was speaking about mental health is, you know, with my situation, I found out that I was about to be the father of twins in a very fucked up situation. And when I chose that I didn't want to be necessarily her boyfriend at that time, or really wasn't ready to be in a relationship, she chose to take it upon herself to try to end her own life. She was very mentally unstable and ended up losing the twins. So it was a very traumatic experience for me. And I looked at it now, and it fucked me up for some years. Like I said, I'm about to be 25, and I've been good for 3-4 years now. But it was just like, I had to sit back and think, and I had to realize it wasn't my fault that she was so unhappy with herself that this shit happened. You see what I'm saying? And I looked at it like this: was it a blessing, right? Whereas, yeah, I wanted to be a father. I wanted to accept that responsibility because I didn't have a healthy relationship with my father, right? I don't talk to my dad now. I looked at it like, well, there must have been a blessing there. If she was that mentally unstable to want to take her life and lose the twins in the process, because she was that unhappy. Maybe there was a blessing to that. Maybe I wasn't ready either. I know I wasn't ready. I was very young, like I said, and I'm looking at it, and I'm outside looking in. But maybe it ended up being a blessing that you didn't have a kid with that person, because for somebody to even think like that and tell you some shit like that, that motherfucker can't be mentally stable. You can't really run that by me. Nah, that's crazy. You got a year to give me a child? Like, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is. But shit, it is what it is. Like we both said, I mean, everything happens for a reason. So
exactly. So you off the kids thing now?
Yeah, he turned me off. He turned me off big time. I was not feeling it after that. But shit, listen. He showed his true colors, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah. So I mean, God knows how he would have been as somebody I had to co-parent with if he was the father of my child. Right. If we ended up having a kid, I'd probably be miserable for the rest of my fucking life because of the type of shit that he would say and think was okay. So it's like, imagine I had to deal with that all the fucking time, and we're both parenting this kid, and we don't want this kid to come out fucked up, but you got a fucked up way of thinking, and so do I. I'm fucked up in my own little way, but I mean, like, that nigga was fucked up. I met my match, basically. Sure, I think he was worse than me, to be honest. That dude got his ways, but shit, I let his ass go, and I'm sure that time will teach him, and he'll learn himself, how to address certain things and go about certain things. Or maybe he won't. Some people get stuck in their ways. But me, I try every day to learn how to be better and do better. So my way of coping and doing better, making myself feel better, is just letting go of the idea of wanting a family and wanting kids, and just letting God, do his thing and life take its course. Yeah. And whatever happens, happens.
So, we was rapping about this before. I know you said you paint, right?
You said what?
I know. So we was talking about this before when we first started talking. You said you paint, right?
That I can't?
That you paint.
Oh, that I paint. Yes, I do. I paint.
What you paint?
Well, the kind of painting that I'm into is, I like putting a bunch of different colors together, and I like to put a bunch of different pieces together. So let's say I have a painting and I did fire on the bottom of my canvas. Right. Then on the top, I'll put a heart, or I'll put some clouds, and I'll put a cartoon character, or I'll put the moon, and I'll put some stars. Like, I like to mix my paintings up. Right. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll sketch out some faces, or sketch out, things that I see in my dreams, because I have very vivid dreams and stuff. So I like to sketch, I like to paint, I like to merge a bunch of different photos into one. So if it's a giraffe I'm painting, I'm gonna add a rose, I'm gonna add a butterfly, I'm gonna add just a bunch of little extra shit.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna need a painting of Patrick the Star. You know what I'm saying? With a Soldier Boy chain on. I'm gonna need you to come up off of that by Wednesday. Can you do that for me?
Okay. You're gonna have to remind me with that one. You gonna have to shoot me a DM and so I can see it. I'm the kind of person, as funny as it may sound, because it's not like I'm a fucking billionaire or millionaire and I have a bunch of things that I have to do, but I'm very organized. So I like to put things down in a calendar and say, okay, today I am going to the mall, I'm going to fix my phone, I'm going to do laundry, I'm going to paint that Patrick the Star picture. So yeah, just go ahead and send me a DM and I'll fit you in.
You serious right now?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you gotta pay for the shipping and the packaging, but yeah, it's all
I was just playing, but if you want to paint me something, you so sweet. Look at you. Look, see, this is how you treat a king, people. You paint him pictures of Patrick Star. He'll treat you nicely. He'll do work with you. Oh shit! What's your favorite painting you got? Do you have a favorite painting?
You said what's my favorite painting so far?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I actually just did one today when I was discussing with you earlier that I was doing a bunch of swirlies. I want to say that's my favorite. It's super simple, but I love it. I basically just I took a bunch of different colors and I kept like swirling, around like circles. But like the lining in it, it's dope. I'll take a picture and I'll show you later. I really love that piece the most. Like, it's so plain. Mm-hmm. It's, just white and a bunch of different colors, dots, but they're, like, swirled up. And they're, like, all merged in different weird places. It's pretty cool. I'll take a picture for you. That's my favorite.
Okay. So, is there a big project or anything like that they can see, some shit like that? Maybe, because I don't know. Do you just paint? Do you write? Anything like that? Dance?
Yeah, well, okay, so my father is an artist, so that's where I got the idea of painting and drawing. I said, man, he's so great, so I may be pretty good at it too. Mm-hmm. So come to find out, I mean, based on a lot of other people's opinions, I haven't sold not one painting yet, but a lot of people have said, wow, I really like your work, or you're just like your father was good at this type of thing too. So that encourages me, and I like to do it here and there. Something I'm working on right now, I mean, I stopped working on it because I'm scared I'm going to mess it up and it's not going to come out the way I want it to. Mm-hmm. But I am working on like a piece of Spider-Man with the moon behind him, and as I was telling you before, I like all that extra shit on the background. So I got some confetti dripping down, and I got some swivels and swirls and shit like that. So okay. I think that's going to come out to be a really dope piece. That's something that I'm working on. Something else I want to do is a sun and the moon. So you ever seen those pictures where people collide two of the, like two different canvases, and they actually come in and they look like they're supposed to be one piece, but it's actually on two different canvases? Yeah. That's something that I would like to do. So I am thinking about doing either sun and moon, or maybe a glass of wine, like a bottle of wine, pouring down into a glass. I'm thinking of different things that I want to do with that. But yes, those are the things that I want to work on. I'm hoping to see myself in an art gallery one day. I think that'd be lovely. And I also do write. I actually was working on 2 books not so long ago, but I don't have a computer anymore like I did before, so I don't really work on that so much. And my mind has been everywhere lately, so I haven't been focused on that. But I do see myself finishing a book before, my time is over, because I do have a lot to say, and I think people will, enjoy and want to read what I have to say. So yeah, that should be coming up whenever I do get my computer. I also am trying to sell t-shirts, so I have some dope ass quotes that I would like to print on a couple of shirts. Mm-hmm. I'm still working on getting a vendor to work all that out. I thought I had somebody, but they're working really, really slow, so I don't know how soon that's going to be coming along, but I do have my ideas. Right. I also have a jean line that I'm working on, but I know I'm going to need a lot more money, to completely invest and see my vision the way that I want it to come out. And what else? I mean, that's you out
here grinding. I fucks with that. I really fucks with that. Okay.
I try, and I also I offer basic sign language courses. So I say about $30 for an hour, and depending on how quick you learn or whatever the case may be, I mean, we can get into whatever you want to get into. If you want it to be your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, I can do that. And then I can teach you like basic sentences. How are you doing? Or do you need help? What do you want to eat? Something like that, like if people are interested. I think it's very important to learn sign language, because there's a lot of deaf people out there, and they struggle. It's tough. It's frustrating for them. So I think the world would be a better place if a lot more people knew how to communicate with the deaf people. as well. So yeah, I do
lie.
offer that as well.
I ain't gonna lie. I want to learn the bullshit first. I want to learn all the cuss words first. That always makes any language great. Is learning the cuss words first. I gotta learn that first. You gotta teach me that. First,
I got you on that.
I gotta learn bullshit off rip. I gotta learn how to say fuck you off rip. That's the requirements for me. But so out of all them different ventures, what is your most favorite one? Like, which one are you looking for?
I'm definitely looking forward to this t-shirt business. I'm excited to see how people feel about it. I think my quotes are gonna be like something that people are really attracted to, because I mean, a lot of the times I post these quotes as a status, and usually people are like, "Damn, this is a motherfucking hit." You know, they're laughing, they liking it, or whatever. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe I put it on a t-shirt and maybe somebody will want to wear it. I don't know. We'll see. But I hope and I believe that my t-shirt business is gonna take off. So we'll see.
Yeah, but no, real shit though. I hope it all works out for you. Keep grinding. You know, I'm on my grind too. So it's definitely dope to hear another artist, another creator coming up with some dope shit, trying to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? So keep your mindset right. Keep that positive energy. I can hear you really perked up about it, really happy about it. So real quick, give everybody a quick shout out to your Instagram or whatever social media and whatever projects you got coming up.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so my Instagram, my Facebook, and my YouTube is all under the same name. It's Soso Lively. So that's going to be SOSO space LIVELY. Go ahead and follow me, y'all.
Yes, fuck with her. She got some funny shit. She's Puerto Rican and French. She has a Brooklyn accent or whatever that's from. Yeah. Go appreciate her. Don't go on there talking crazy, trying to flirt with her in DM. Just because we have all these conversations does not mean that. Stop being thirsty. Stop it. Well, she will make you eat your own cum. With that being said, I'm going to wrap it up with that. This is the Uncut Podcast, man. Oh, yeah, fuck with me. Follow me on the gram, AEKO, O.S_AEKO on Instagram. Fuck with me. Love y'all, man. Season 2 coming soon. Peace.
Every time I need that shit, devil make another. Play toys up, little boys, take the time. It was designed for me to intertwine and reconstruct what's on your mind. It ain't no OG living that'll raise up your kind. All this bullshit rapping you listen to don't make a nigga go blind. Hey, listen. Hey, this in my soul, feel it pouring out like a rubber bank. Lavish thoughts dropping like shells from a silver tank. Clout chaser domination showing us real is real. They don't care. Put some water in they electric chair. Let them fry. Smoke the pink dowd, they never dreads. Lean sippers falling asleep and never less than beds. The medicinal acrobatics play the